Hi, what's up everybody? This is Florian from Fermin Creative, and in this video I'm going to have a look at some of the web hosting solutions available for WordPress websites. Now, this is a very crowded market and there are many options out there, and the real objective for this video from my side is that I want you to understand why you would go for a more expensive plan in comparison with some of the very cheap ones available. Also, before I continue, I want to quickly point out that I've not received any endorsement from anybody to make this video. So the companies that are in this video are really there either for illustrative purposes to show what kind of options you have, or I have experience with them. So with that said, let's jump right in. And the first company that I want to cover is GoDaddy, which is a company that has been around for a very long time. So they have a lot of clients, and their hosting is very cheap too. Like, it starts from $3.99 a month. So of course, as always with this kind of plans, it's on sale. I've never seen that it was not on sale. So $3.99 a month, and that will give you one website, 10 gigs of SSD storage, and they say it's 25,000 monthly visitors that this will cover. Now, I'm always a little bit suspicious of these kind of numbers because, yeah, 25,000 a month sounds pretty good, but if you are serious about marketing your website, you're probably gonna see like waves of attention being focused on your website. So you make a Facebook post, you decide to sponsor it for say $20. That is gonna drive a lot of traffic to your website. So then I would immediately question whether the $3.99 a month plan will be sufficient, because, like, yeah, sure, maybe in total you will only get like 20,000 a month, but like for those peak moments when you really need it, it just doesn't provide the adequate performance that you need. And I also noticed this across like some other web host providers as well. Your SiteGround, for example, which starts at $3.95 a month, they claim it's suitable for 10,000 visits a month. Well, we can do very little with it. Also keep in mind, like, these two plans are really like they're shared web hosting plans. So that means that you are on a web hosting server with many other sites. Like they don't let out official numbers about this, but like in the case of GoDaddy, for example, there's a claim that there are sometimes thousands and thousands of websites on a single server. I'm not sure if there's any truth to it, but it sort of gives you a feel as to what's going on here and why they can offer it so cheaply. So being on a shared web hosting account also means that if some of the other accounts get really busy, that means that's going to affect your website too, because you're sharing resources with other websites. So it is really cheap, but in the case of web hosting, like, I really say that to a very great extent, you get what you pay for. And this may be alright if you're just starting out and you're really on a tight budget, but the moment you get a little bit more serious and you understand that, you know, this is not just like a little trial and that you want to grow it further, I would recommend switching to something more expensive. So another company that I want to point out is DreamHost as well. So their hosting is a little bit more expensive. It starts at $7.95 a month, and they also offer something called DreamPress, which is a fully managed WordPress solution. So that means that they take care of the updates to WordPress, and I assume plugins as well. Generally, managed web hosting tends to be a lot faster as well, because companies can optimize their service to serve out WordPress content in the best way possible. So DreamPress at $16.95 a month, I would say it's not a bad deal. Like, I don't have a lot of experience with this particular plan, but it's one of the cheaper ones I have seen when it comes to fully managed WordPress hosting. Fully managed WordPress hosting, why would you go for it? Well, it's good, especially if you want to worry a lot less about your WordPress install, because they just take care of so much. And also, usually the support that comes along with managed WordPress plans is much higher compared to, say, GoDaddy or SiteGround, for that matter. GoDaddy was really notorious for its bad support. I understand that has gotten better, but I have no personal interaction to confirm that this in fact is the case. The next one I want to point out is Flywheel, which is a by now very well-known web hosting provider in the WordPress space. So they solely focus on WordPress hosting. It's the only thing they do, and that of course provides some great benefits, because again they can completely optimize their service just for WordPress. Their expertise as well in terms of support only focuses on WordPress, so that really makes things a lot better, at least in my experience. I've had a couple of clients with Flywheel, and I was also with Flywheel myself for a while, and I really like their I really like their service, and their sites were fast too. Like, I only moved away from Flywheel when I started setting up my own hosting solution, which is something I guess I will talk about in a future video, because setting up your own web hosting is a little bit of a more complicated process, and especially assuming that you're watching this and you are only getting started with WordPress, it's not a topic to cover right now. So Flywheel has some more premium pricing associated with it. So they start at $15 a month, and they go all the way up to 75. And as you can see, that's for 100,000 monthly visits. I would say that this is a little bit more of an accurate number compared to what SiteGround, for example, provides, because they go at $11.95 a month, and GoDaddy claims to be able to cover 100,000 visitors for as little as $4.99 a month. So based on my experience with Flywheel, I could say that 100,000 monthly visitors is probably like it's a pretty low estimate of what that can handle. It's a really good provider, and I never had really issues also like with many people browsing the website at the same time. So definitely worth to have a look at. If you're with Flywheel and you're watching this, thumbs up to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Of course, Flywheel is not the only space that, or only company in this space that provides managed web hosting. So just for the sake of getting balance, I also would quickly like to point out two other ones that I have experience with and I know are also really good. One is WP Engine, which is a little bit more high end, as you probably can see here, because like it goes for $99 a month for like this 100,000 visitors a month. So what's nice about it as well is like they offer, I'm pretty sure Flywheel doesn't, yes, so on the professional plan they offer you to basically that you can have multiple installs. So like in case you have some small sites together, you can put them together under a single plan. Also their support is really good, I would say. So yes, this is also like a really nice option, and I guess like you start looking at something like this the moment you have multiple WordPress sites up and running. Another one that I want to focus on here as well is Savvy, which is a Dutch company. So in case you're wondering, I'm based in the Netherlands, so sometimes it pays off as well to have a company that is in your home country. I would consider like a provider like Savvy, especially if I have a website here in the Netherlands and my customer base is also primarily based in the Netherlands. Then it makes sense to make sure that you have a hosting provider that has its service close to your customer base, because it will just make it like a little bit snappier, and in terms of conversion rate, it can make quite a difference. So Savvy is in a similar price range, where basically they offer still share plans up to $69 a month. So under the $69 a month you can run up to 5 sites, and I can also confirm here that it's actually like it is shared web hosting, but it seems to be properly containerized. So I've not seen some of the issues that you saw, for example, with GoDaddy, where other sites being busy basically bringing your site down. I've seen none of that with Savvy. And then you also have the VPS options, which are the virtual private service. There are also a lot of options here. So they start from $69 a month, and just for one site. And basically what that means is that you have your own little dedicated server running your site. So you have basically all the resources of a single server available to you. which is, I guess, something that you really need to consider the moment you're going to run something more complicated than just a blog. The moment you run an e-commerce site, like I would really recommend getting a VPS. It's just that much faster, and it just makes the experience much smoother for your customers. So VPS is something that I would only consider later on. If you're just starting out with your WordPress site, take some of the lower plans. I would definitely not go with some of the cheapest ones. If you have the money available, I would definitely recommend going for something like Flywheel. It just makes the ride that much smoother, and I think it just also overall just leaves you in a much better position to grow your website further, because the moment you have a very cheap GoDaddy plan and your website is out of the air for quite a lot of time, it just slows you down in terms of your ability to grow. And also it just takes a hit nowadays, not just in terms of visitors being turned off. Also Google has a lot of metrics going into speed of websites, for example. So the benefit is not just customers being able to access your website faster. There is also benefit in terms of your search engine optimization and all that. So my recommendation would be to go with some of the managed plans if you have the money available, and otherwise go for like slightly more reputable hosts such as SiteGround, which I'm reading some really good reviews about, and take one of their plans. Also there, do not go for the cheapest really. I think it's totally fair to pay like $7 or $8 a month for proper web hosting. Yes, in that sense, it's really just, you get what you pay for. So I hope this gives you some insight as to what plans you should go for. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below, and otherwise I will catch you in the next video.